Hi, everybody. It's Zachary, one of the hosts of the After 5:30 podcast. As you're going to see, the recording was a little messed up in a few places, so we had to go back and post and correct it. Also, things got pretty shady in the podcast this week, so I had to censor some names to protect the innocent. I'll let you see for yourself. Enjoy the episode.
Oh.
We in there like swimwear.
Like? Swimwear?
Swimwear. We can pump up yours a little bit.
Pump up the jams?
Jams?
Why are you giving me shit about my stand's not?
No, I'm saying your stand's right there. You can put that microphone on that stand.
I don't think so.
Well, since anyway, Chris is being difficult today.
It's true.
He seems
It's
pretty
Friday.
cranky. His hair is like, looks angry.
For
But he
those
did
viewers
shave.
at home.
That's good. I haven't shaved yet since Christmas. Good thing this isn't a TV show, or else everybody would be able to see this.
One of the perks, I guess, of radio.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna start off by immediately throwing some shade directly at my co-host Chris, and
All right.
let's see if you can guess what it is about.
Okay. Getting the shade.
Yeah, what is it about? What am I mad about?
Uncle Tony's?
No, not Uncle Tony's, because that ended up working. I don't know why.
The microphone.
Not the microphone. It happened a little while ago. I've been waiting the podcast to tell you about it. And tell you how I really feel.
Is it about the note thing?
Yes, it is. It's
Oh, okay.
exactly about the note.
The note thing.
I'm very mad. So for our lab, we have a very fancy microscope that we use with a computer, and you need a special computer for it. So you have to log on to that computer. And one day, I just left a note like, "Boo, it's a ghost leaving a note," because it was like, it's cute and it's funny. And then somebody went way too far. And they left a really creepy, like, Lord of the Rings quote, like, all that answers here is death, and death is...
That's debatable about way too far.
It's farther. And then when I found it, we were both on the scope together. I was like, "Oh, who left this note?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know."
This is true, yeah. I am a pathological liar in a way. But I feel like it was worth it.
And then I went on for months asking everybody in the lab,
You could almost say
"Do
years.
you know Lord of the Rings? Do you know Lord of the Rings? Do you know this quote?
Yeah.
Did you write this quote?" No, I have no idea who did it. I asked everybody. I asked Guy. And he's like, "Oh, it's I was thinking for the longest time."
It's true, and I wanted you to think it was
And you watched all this. You
Yeah.
watched this madness unfold.
No, that was my favorite part, is you got to lead the witch hunt, and I got to cheer you on.
I broke my stand. It's like unwound right now. And
I think that's just like symbolic of how, the emotions were running high. This is obviously a sensitive topic.
I think it's even coming across in the recording, so I'm sorry, viewers, if you heard that, but I got it fixed now, so we're good. But I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, I'm actually still pretty proud about it, so that's kind of funny.
Why do you wait until the Christmas party? What made you say, like, "Oh yeah, this has gone on long enough. Now that we have everybody in the same room, I'm just gonna make Zach look like a fool in front of everyone"?
I guess, it's part of the fact that there was such a large audience, Like, I always like to perform.
Rosie was there.
I know. Well, exactly. So, like, what would have been another great time to do this? I guess I could have waited another, like, when you graduated, maybe.
Like the 10-year
End
reunion.
of the summer. Yeah. Oh my God, the 10-year reunion. Yeah, that would have been good too. But, it's just like
I would have still been looking.
you would have still blamed for like the next 5 years.
Yeah. But the thing is, everybody's all like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that."
I know. Yeah. Everyone, for some reason, like, naturally said, "Oh yeah, probably did it."
He's gotten away with it too if motherfucker never. But alright, the podcast, yeah.
So now that we have the bad blood out of the way,
There's something else that that I was mad about before.
bring it up. Bring up your grievances, my son. Was it lab related?
I don't think my voice is coming through anymore. Did I unplug my mic? I hope not.
Oh wow, you mean I might just be talking to myself?
Oh my God, you're talking to yourself.
Damn it.
It's unplugged. Damn it, I was so charged. Back. Oh, now I'm back.
We can't. So for the viewers at home, Zach kind of did a little rant, and you really just got my reaction to it, my
Right.
witty commentary. But out of context, probably seems like I'm crazy.
It probably like got unplugged like halfway through.
I think it was when you, maybe when you were
well, it's pretty
emotionally
bad.
charged, and you just like ripped the microphone.
This might
Wait,
be
should we start
beginning
over,
of a
or
podcast,
should we keep
or
going?
this might be like 5 minutes into a podcast.
Because like we can play Uncle Tony's again.
Difficulties.
Wait, no, this is just a riddle.
Because like maybe that doesn't have to go. No.
We should probably redo it.
All right.
We
Well,
can't
now it's
sell
like 4:44 though.
I mean, I probably don't have to. After 5 minutes have already been recorded, and technical difficulties may have ensued.
Brodo's more like, oh, did Zach take the time to edit it before he posted it straight to the YouTubes? But yeah, as always, we're sponsored by Uncle Tony's Authentic Sicilian Red Sauce, the movie, coming summer 2016.
Oh yeah, can't wait for that.
All right, so
Depending on when this is in the podcast, I may or may have not already thrown shade at Chris.
Yeah, I think that should be the theme of this week's episode. Is the shade's been thrown?
Shade's been thrown.
Like, I mean, there's other shade that can be thrown.
Coughing in the background. We're recording here.
Jesus.
You're lucky this isn't a video show, or else they would see you flipping us off.
Yeah, Christ. Anyway, so yeah, we invited to watch the podcast, and he was like, "No, guys, I saved up all my like yearly earnings to watch Netflix this month because he's so poor." So yeah, I mean, I guess that's taken care of there.
So he's watching Netflix whenever he can.
Well, just for this month because he saved up all year long.
We're just kidding. Very nice.
Just kidding. Has money.
He probably has
Hey,
money
I'm
for
not
like at
saying
least
a
a
nice
few
thing.
months of Netflix.
Yeah, he probably has like 3.
Bailed on us.
Bailed.
Yeah.
I
But,
mean, I guess to be fair,
well,
she was a backup option.
We need.
I mean, it's
we need
not like she was our
backstory.
first choice.
Well, what happened is we have a third mic now, and we wanted to get a guest onto the show, and we asked a few people, and it's like right at the end of the day, we would be recording from 4 to 4:30 ish,
A reasonable time.
and it's not even like it. Yes, it is before 5:30, and the show's after 5:30. Yes, we know, but like everybody's like, oh yeah, let's do it another day.
Yeah, multiple promises were broken,
Yeah,
I would
nope.
say. May.
You blew it. If you're listening to this and you were invited, you blew it.
Yeah. So, wait, I'm gonna shout out some names. First of all, was
Okay.
an original.
Yeah,
and
we
she
wa-
was like, "Oh wait, I need to inoculate something."
I
Which,
need to
like,
do
God
actual
only knows
work.
what that even means. Like, inoculate something. Like, what are you doing? Just
This
get
is-
on the podcast.
This is very shade heavy podcasting.
Just kidding. We'll have you on another time.
Yeah.
Who else? Will.
Yes.
Will. I'm pretty sure he
dumped
said
us over
in
text.
text said anytime. Like we said, oh yeah, I'd love to be on the podcast anytime. Like this is a time.
Did you see the thread yet? Because you were on that group message. I was like, oh, are you
Nah.
interested in coming? And he says, oh, no.
No, I didn't go through my phone because iPhones don't play well with Samsungs.
Will has an iPhone, and I was texting Will in the group message.
I know. But,
Anyway, no, Will is another. He's our editor, actually. Gives a lot of feedback.
but
Usually fair but firm.
right,
Yeah.
we'll probably edit his name out as he requested.
That's editing, no.
Shade's been thrown.
Yeah, let's get off the shade and let's talk about something else.
All right.
The notes that I'm reading are not notes for the podcast; they're like actual work ideas. But I was coming back,
Well,
and
this is an open forum.
yeah, I was riding with my parents back up because it's my parents don't want to drive like 4 ways. We'll come get you and bring you back home, and then we'll drop you back off and come back home. So Zach just figure out how to get home now. So I was like, oh, this particular time I went back with, and on the way back we stopped. What was it? It was like it wasn't McDonald's, but it was like some fast food place, and we weren't really eating. We just got 2 drinks, and we used the bathroom. And the car that pulled up next to us had so much bird shit on it. It was incredible. And the note that I left was just, this car had so much poop.
Well,
And that's from 1/3/2016, the first note of the new year.
See, now that does make me think it went to McDonald's then. Where's the car with a lot of bird shit gonna go?
It definitely wasn't McDonald's.
I would hope not Wendy's. That would be a little bit offensive that people with that kind of like vehicle hygiene would go to Wendy's, because I really like that. Burger King, maybe. I'm not a huge fan of Burger King. See, the shades just continue to be thrown for me. It's the bad move.
Since we're throwing shades at fast food chains, I think you know what I'm about to say, but like, fuck Subway. I'm sorry, Mom, if you had to hear that, but I know you don't listen to the podcast, so
I think we're good.
But Chris's mom, we met your mother. She seems very nice, and your brother and your dad on Skype the other day.
Yeah, I met her too. Yeah, she.
Hello, my Rana family. Hello.
Yeah. But yeah, Subway. Just the quality is. It's always a regret, but you know it's delicious, and sometimes. I was just in case they want to sponsor us someday.
Subway, if you ever want to give us money, then we can talk. Until then.
So anything else?
I left a note that said riddles, and when we talked to your family, they said something about like, oh, we should tell riddles, and I had a really good riddle in mind, but I don't remember which one it is, and I know it's not the green glass door riddle because that's gonna take a while. Depends.
No, yeah, I think because we had been talking about the riddle where it's like, oh God, what is it now? It appears,
once in a week.
Yeah,
once in a year.
Like twice in a week, once in a year. You know, what's the answer?
And it was the letter E.
Yeah, that astounded my dad. And my brother was convinced it was something with the moon, I think. But luckily, I had already heard a riddle somewhere, so I knew the answer.
Good. With these notes that I have, they're not really useful. It's in the little black book that we've mentioned previously on the podcast. If you haven't heard it yet, pause this episode and go back and listen to the rest of the episodes. We'll give you like 10 seconds. All right, good. Now that you're caught up on all the podcasts. This week we wanted to actually talk about a little bit of science. Yeah.
So I had an interesting conversation with a friend from my childhood when I was back, over the holidays.
Is it him?
No.
Good.
He had brought up the topic of, so when you were a kid, do you remember reading these books about these bears that were a family of bears? They like kind of taught you valuable life lessons in a way.
Oh, like the bears from the Coca-Cola commercials?
No, books.
Oh, the bears from the Teddy Graham box?
No, again, books.
Oh, the bears
they
from...
dress in like clothing.
Oh, Yogi Bear and
No.
Boogie.
No, multiple. A family.
What's wrong with a single father, Chris?
For the point of the argument, I'm saying, do you remember these bears?
Yeah, Yogi and Boo Boo.
No, a family that is like there's like a daughter, a son, a mom, and a dad.
Well, the bears. Damn it, my microphone's out again.
It's because you're being an ass.
My microphone is literally out. Why is it? Am I back? No, I'm not back. See, what the hell, man? Okay, so it's Yogi Bear, right? My microphone's back in. Yogi
No.
Bear and Boo Boo is a family. It's a single father.
Are there
And
books about
we
Yogi
here at the
Bear?
After 5:30.
Are
Yes,
there books about Yogi Bear?
somewhere.
No, there's not.
I'll write one.
Okay, so tell me, do you remember this family of bears?
Yes, the Berenstein Bears.
Yes. So how do you think that name is spelled?
Yeah, Berenstein, like Stein at the end, right?
That's what everyone that I've ever talked to has thought, but
I know, it's so crazy. Listen to this.
but it's actually spelled like Stain, like stain.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. That's not right at all.
Yeah, everyone pronounces it Berenstein.
I want to go back to my parents' house, go to the attic, because I know there's at least like one of those books up there, and I'm positive it was spelled with an E.
You'll probably go and discover that it's an A, because the theory is that there was like a how to describe it, like a universal shift. We shifted into a parallel universe where some event occurred that caused Berenstein to then be spelled more like Berenstain, and now everyone remembers it like in the old universe, but now that the universe has changed, we are just like all kind of like making asses out of ourselves and pronouncing it incorrectly.
Yep. And this goes back to like one of the ideas from the ABC show, The Flash, like how when you travel in time, there's like a sonic boom, like when you enter, and it like kind of shifts everything. It's like one of the shifts could have been like, oh, when the ancestors were immigrating through Ellis Island or something, the boom happened and the pen pushed over slightly too much, and instead of it looking like an E, it looked like an A.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
Yeah, but I have no clue.
Like when those bears came over from God knows where. Also, interesting
Bear country.
side note, like have you? So there's like those bears are kind of weird. Like there's like one book where like a group of panda bears like
Yeah.
move in next, and Papa Bear's really upset. So it's like the bears are racist.
I don't remember that book, but I remember seeing it on like some list of like things you don't remember from your childhood.
I didn't remember that either. But you know, valuable life lessons, kids.
About alternate realities. What's like your favorite like depiction of like alternate realities and like time travel?
I know this is like a really big topic for you. This is like a passion for you.
Yes, I would love to.
But so can we include Interstellar in this?
Well, that's not like alternate realities though. That's like you just lost your shit all the time because some girl tried to go back for like the watercraft.
I'm not sure I know that many. You know, I guess Back
Besides
to the
Rick and
Future,
Morty?
would that be count? Would that count?
Does Rick and Morty count? Because if it doesn't, it should.
What specific instance?
The first episode of like season 2, where like, oh, there's too much indecision and randomness, so
that
reality has split, and instead of
Yeah, I guess that would be the best one. That would be my favorite.
or time travel. Let's expand it to time travel.
So Interstellar is still on the table or off the table?
Well, that's not like anything crazy. That's just like space travel. Like anybody can space
But
travel,
he
right?
goes into like a fourth dimension.
Oh no, yeah, I forgot about that part. That's a good example.
Okay, yeah.
I was thinking of like how he lost all that time when he got too close to Gargantuan on that planet,
Yeah.
and he like comes back up, and the guy's like, "I've been waiting 40 years."
Yeah, that's my favorite part. When
He's
that
been waiting 40 years, but he still couldn't figure out how to get back home.
idiot.
Like he could have, no, he couldn't have gone and come in that time, but he could have figured out something. He could have done something more productive.
Yeah, he had 40 years.
That's like
Christ.
not. It's not like wasting a week when you should be doing research.
Yeah, like
It's like 40 years.
imagine like so we're like we come back to the spaceship. It's just been like, yeah, watched all of Netflix.
I don't think he can hear us. He has his headphones in.
Perfect.
Yeah, no. But what was it? We were talking about time travel or space travel or.
Both actually. You were asking.
One of my favorite ones that I've seen more recently was the Flash series. You know the superhero Flash, how
Yeah.
he runs really fast.
Yeah, I have never seen this show, so I know that he
so-
runs fast.
Within the next minute, I'm going to talk about spoilers. So ready, set, spoilers. There was this one part towards the end of the first season that I watched, and it's all about time travel. And he's like, "Oh, I have to run faster and run faster and run faster so I can figure out how to time travel." But really, the guy who's training him is just using him because he's evil.
Dick.
Yeah, and then he wants to go back and save his mother, but the guy who's training him actually killed his mother, and he's stranded in the time zone that Barry Allen is in. And
Who's Barry Allen?
The Flash.
Oh, okay.
More spoilers. And then, what was it? He figures out how to run fast enough, and he goes back to his mother, and he sees like, oh yeah, I remember this, and what killed my mother is about to happen. And the Flash just started up, and it was they knew it was like speedsters, like people running super fast around her when she died. So what happened is he's standing in the closet looking for like, oh, one of these
I've
speedsters.
been there. Just kidding.
One of these speedsters is going to come around and kill my mother. So he sees them, and it's him in the future and the evil guy fighting it out in the future. And then they're fighting and running around trying to save her. And then the evil guy goes to kill him as a child, and he saves himself. But then as he runs away with his younger self, the evil guy stabs his mother. And then Barry Allen was about to save her, but then the him from the future, he holds his hand up and it's like, no, stop, don't do it. And then saves himself. mother dies and he
So
watches his mother
how many
die.
Barry Allens are in this scene? I can count at least 3.
3, yeah.
Okay.
Young Barry, current, quote unquote, current day Barry, and future Barry. Because in the future he's like super successful and he's like does something with the police force.
Barry. What a name.
But yeah, that was my favorite depiction of like time travel and alternate realities and all that. But another thing that happened in the show was like, oh, what if we're living in a reality that's not real? Because that also happened in the show. He time traveled by mistake, and he went through the same day twice, and he changed some things. And then like somebody ended up not dying, and then they remembered that, oh, I'm supposed to die today, but then I didn't.
And they remembered it?
Yeah,
So
they had
deja
like
vu.
flashes of it. So like, what if all these little deja vu things, like, oh, was that supposed to be there or not, are actually alternate realities that we're missing
so
out
it's
on?
really just some dick that's been like messing around every time I get deja vu.
Yeah, probably.
Hasn't happened in a while though,
Probably.
so people must have calmed down.
Have you ever had those like dreams where you like dream something in the future and it was like, oh, that's a weird dream, and then it like actually happens?
I think one time I lost something and then I dreamt it was behind the chair and it happened to be behind the chair.
I always dream like weird stuff like that. I remember dreaming something about like I was spinning and holding a pen, wearing like a certain color shirt and like a certain color pants, sitting on a bus. And then like one day in high school, I was like wearing that and I was spinning a pen. And I looked down, I was like, oh my god, I've seen this before.
And it was
But it was
just a
like
dream.
years before, so that was like, what happened?
You know how they say like your brain is like when you dream, it's supposed to be like your brain is kind of preparing you for stuff you might actually encounter.
Oh no, I've never heard that.
All right, well that's a theory. So that like that your dreams are like your brain simulating stuff that you might have to deal with in the real world.
Okay.
So that was probably like one of the very few times where it actually came true, and your brain was like, 600 million to 1.
Count one for the good guys.
We're the team to beat.
Depending on when we are in the podcast, I may have or may already or not already have thrown shade at you, so I don't know if I should mention it or not, because I might put it just like at the end.
I mean, you can have a little blurb if you want. It seemed like it was pretty upsetting that it's worth at least 2 rants.
I'm super mad. That's it.
If you guys don't know what that's referring to, see the...
It's going to be either in the
Beginning.
beginning or the end of these episodes.
It's actually kind of fitting that we're talking about time travel and alternate realities because we have literally 2 different clips here.
Yep.
Or do we?
We do have 2 clips. I didn't
No, we
erase
don't.
it.
We're not really sure.
But are we ahead of the clip or are we behind it? Are we going to
Is this-
make a mistake
Is this
later?
the Stein clip or the Stein clip?
Wait, what? Berenstein Bears?
Berenstain.
Stein.
Yeah, Stein.
Chris, it's pronounced Stein. What are you saying? You're talking
Damn
crazy.
we switched universes back.
I need to make a call right quick. Hello, please. There's some crazy guy from another dimension. Can you come get him?
Who are you talking to?
No one, Chris. Don't worry.
Are you emailing the police again?
They'll be here any minute. I mean, the pizza. We're gonna.
The pizza guy?
Yeah, pizza guy.
God damn it.
You like pizza, right?
I hope it's not the police again.
They like pizza where you're from, right? I mean, you like pizza, right?
I actually wanted to, so how long is this now? Probably got like another 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I
Why are you
wanted
trying to put a
pitch
cap on this podcast, Chris?
Well, I just wanted to make sure I get something in before the end.
All right.
I wanted to pitch out an idea that,
Mhm.
so I think we should still have a segment called Will's What Ifs, or What Ifs with Will.
Oh, yes. You
But-
mentioned that just now.
So Will would not be here, though, most likely. Like, we'll just name it that.
Okay.
And basically, anyone who is listening to the podcast right now, just email us at
A530pm@gmail.com.
thank you, robot. Siri.
I'm not Siri.
Just email a what if question to that, and we'll read it out loud and we'll deal with it the next episode.
Try to deal with it.
Well, we'll deal.
Have you ever heard of Randall Monroe? You
No.
know, XKCD, the
No.
comic strip that I like and Guy likes.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Do you remember that comic strip I put at the end of my presentation?
The one with the dog on fire?
No, that was in the middle of the presentation, unfortunately.
No, I don't know. What was happening?
I'm not going to pull up the presentation now, but you've definitely seen his art style before. It's like, for example, there's this one comic strip where it's called Coupon Code, and it's a guy sitting at a computer and he's looking at like, oh, if you have a coupon code, enter it here. And then he starts writing, in 1987, you quietly took something from the house of a dying woman you thought nobody knew, but you were wrong. And then he hits click. And then the discount is applied. It's like, oh, it would have been $80, but $80 is taken off. So his final price is $0.
Is this a thing where they don't really make sense?
No, they're it's a physics and, what's the other thing? Physics and, it's a science comic strip. And he has a couple books, but one of the things that he does is called What If. And they're like really good.
Well, I don't want to stomp on anyone's.
Yeah. So like, for one example, it's like, what if all of the sun's output of visible light were bundled up into a laser-like beam that had the diameter of around 1 meter once it hits the Earth? Like, how
Well,
how
just
SOL
burn
would we
through
be?
the Earth?
Yeah. But then he'll go like, oh, what would you die from? What's going to happen? What's going to happen after you die? Da-da-da-da.
This person has a lot of time.
Yeah, they were like really well researched. So he's not sponsoring us, but go check out Randall Munro, xkcd.com. I like his comics personally.
They seem okay.
And also, interns. We're looking for somebody who can handle the sound of the podcast. Since we're having so much trouble getting it together.
Jesus Christ.
And we also have the new hires from the last time we podcast in like December. We mentioned that Will is the editor, but it's like probably 21 or 25 minutes into the podcast, so he's not listening. So we'll have to mention it again in the next podcast at the beginning. We have 2 media interns, both who are not here. You know who you are. And also, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, send an email to a530pm@gmail.com. Or if you just want to send a question, like a what if question, it will almost definitely get read. Also, if you have a Twitter, somebody follow our Twitter. Because we don't have anybody on Twitter besides me.
First person to follow Twitter gets like a free shout out.
Maybe even like everybody.
Maybe like everyone, yeah, so everyone who follows it on Twitter gets a shout out.
Let's say the first 50 within these next 2 weeks.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, but that's also aiming really, 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 really high.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna be it for this week. We had a good time talking about realities.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any other topics. I mean, I have some longer extended things for next episode, but
How extended?
well, I just have the next science thing.
Oh, for the next science thing. Oh, we didn't talk about the Diamond Films. If you wanted to do that.
That's what I was
Oh, you were
saving.
thinking about the Diamond Films.
Yeah.
So tune in next time
Yeah.
for some sick Diamond Films. My name is Zach. My personal Twitter is at Jumpet, Jumpet.
Personal shout outs.
Yeah, I'm talking about myself. I need attention.
Alright, fine.
Do you have a Twitter, Chris? Loser.
No.
Wait, why are you getting mad at it? We weren't talking about you. You just think we're talking about it. Need some attention.
Just heard the word loser and automatically assumed that we were talking about it.
Oh no, I was calling
could if you
loser
want.
at Chris. We could make fun of you. We can come back to you. We can play that game again. We'd have to get all 3 microphones working for that.
We'll play it next week.
Ah, that's what we have to do with the guests. So if you're being invited onto the show to be a guest, come. Hurry up and
None
come.
of this cancellation stuff. Or Shay will be
We have like 5 people lined up now because they all said like, oh yeah, next week. So maybe we can do a show a day.
maybe a little much.
Colleen, I know you're listening. No, you're not.
Let's be honest.
Everybody have a good day. This is the After
Have a
5:30
good week.
podcast.